All right, let's talk about taking control of your Sinumerik ONE system. Today, we're going to dive in and transform that Sidescreen display from its default setting into a personalized information hub, one that's built specifically for your workflow.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever been working and just wished you had the exact info you need right at your fingertips? Without having to click through a bunch of menus? Well, that's exactly what we're going to set up today. So here's the game plan. First, we'll find our way to the right configuration menu. Then, I'll let you in on the one single parameter that unlocks all of this. After that, we'll walk through 3 really distinct layout options, and of course, I'll make sure you know the final crucial step to make all your changes stick. Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, how do we even begin? Well, the great thing about Sinumerik ONE is that it has a few of these custom configurations already built right in. And the best part, tapping into them is surprisingly easy. Now, here's what's really cool. This entire customization, all 3 options we're about to see, it all comes down to changing just one single machine data parameter. Knowing this one number is the key to everything. So where do we find this magic parameter? It's a pretty simple path. You're just going to navigate to Machine and then into Setup. From there, you'll select Machine Data, and then you're looking for the Display Machine Data menu. This is basically our command center for all these tweaks. And here it is, the magic number, 9114. This parameter, which the system also calls mm_Sidescreen, is what controls which layout is active. By default, it's usually set to 4, which is that standard view you're used to. We're about to have some fun with that. Okay, let's check out our first option. We activate this one by setting our parameter value to 3. This is the simplest and cleanest change you can make, and it's a great place to start. So, just like we said, you find parameter 9114, and you just change that value to 3. That's it. With that one little edit, we get a totally different look and feel. And this is what you get. Setting the value to 3 gives you this really clean, vertical, quick access menu. It's awesome for your most used shortcuts, and you can even flip it over to the left or right side of the screen, whichever feels better for you. All right, that was nice and simple, but what if you want more than just shortcuts? Well, that brings us to option 2. This takes that vertical menu we just saw and kinda supercharges it with live data. For this one, you know the drill. We go right back to our key parameter, MD9114, but this time we're going to set the value to 2. Now this is where the Sidescreen really starts to feel like a proper information hub. So what's the big upgrade here? Well, you keep that same handy vertical menu from option 3, but now you get these incredibly useful actual value widgets. This means you can see things like your access load, the active 0 point, and tool variables, all at a glance, even if you're buried deep in some other screen. It also adds quick access to your manuals and the keyboard. It's a huge step up. And finally, we've arrived at the most information-packed layout. Seriously, if you work with really complex setups or you've built your own custom menus, this option is a total game changer. I think you know what's coming. We're heading back to parameter 9114 one last time, and now we're setting its value to 1. This configuration is really designed for the power users out there who need to jump between different parts of the control in a flash. So what does this actually do? Well, it basically takes the main machine menu and projects it into that vertical space. Now, why on earth does that matter? Well, imagine you've clicked 5 levels deep into a settings screen. Instead of hitting back, you can just use this menu on the side to jump directly to another primary function or a custom menu. It's a massive time saver. Okay, so you can make all these amazing changes, but I have to tell you, nothing will actually happen until you do one final and absolutely critical step. You might see something in the documentation that says PO or power on, and that sounds a little dramatic, right? But don't worry, you do not need to power down the entire machine. It just means you need to restart the HMI, the human-machine interface. Basically, just exit and relaunch the software. I'm going to see this one more time because I promise you, this is the step everyone forgets. After you change parameter 9114 to 3, 2, or 1, you must restart the HMI for that new layout to actually show up. And hey, before we wrap up, here's a little bonus tip for you. You remember those axis names in the widgets from option 2? You can customize those too. Using machine data parameter 10,000, you can actually rename your axes to something way more descriptive, which adds yet another layer of clarity to your awesome custom setup. And that's really all there is to it. One parameter, 3 powerful new layouts.
So whether you need a simple shortcut bar, a dashboard with live data, or a full-blown navigation menu, you now have the key to set up your side screen exactly how you want it. And honestly, this is just scratching the surface. For those who are feeling really adventurous, it's actually possible to do even more advanced stuff by modifying system files. So, now that you've mastered the built-in basics, what will you build next? Thanks for tuning in.